Bitcoin finally had its move up. Are we done? Are we going to retrace, or is there more juice left? I think we have another move to the upside, and the reason why I'm going to explain you within a minute. If you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. Without further ado, let's start diving in. This is BTC USD on the 1 hour, and we talked about that Bitcoin cannot break underneath this wick right here. Well, we had a swing field pattern, and that was the start sign for us to go higher. So I'm going to take this off the chart, and as you can see, we now found acceptance within the value area. We are right above the value area low, and yesterday we rejected to the dang dollar here of the point of control of the entire area. We went down, and also there was a weekly level. So this was a very nice confluence. I did not take the short, but I did take the long later on. This was a very nice move to the upside. I wrote it here, had my stop loss somewhere there. I just moved my stop loss as Bitcoin was moving higher, because I didn't want to get caught up with the fact that we might short squeeze and then just dump down, then I missed the entire profit. So once we were going higher, I just moved my stop losses underneath the new created lows, and that is kind of how I trailed all my way up. Now, as I'm saying, I think we have more juice to squeeze. If I'm just going to take the weekly off, and I'm going to explain you exactly why. Look at these highs that we have created. 4 highs that are super close to each other. You cannot tell me that if we're talking about something is a significant high, we are going lower for the next couple weeks and months, that this is what we leave behind. No effing way that I believe that, especially now we just found acceptance within the value area. And also, if I'm checking, what are we talking about? 0.5%, 0.6% from all these highs. So that's these 4 fake yellow lines that you see. Therefore, I am thinking we have some more juice in the tank. We have something more to squeeze. What am I looking out for? Of course, then just to take out all of these highs, that would be from the current level another 2.5–3%. If we eventually stop at the golden pocket, which is still at 30,600 to 30,700, completely fine, or maybe just above these highs, but the golden pocket sounds logical. Or the 78.6, which lines up perfectly with the value area high, would also be completely fine. Now, if we're talking about significant highs, and high that is really a high for a long time before it is taken out, you do not want to see these tops that you see here. So if we are going to pump up right away, dump down, and most likely that will not be the macro lower high. What I am looking out for is a move to the upside, and then spend some time at a special area. And doesn't really matter, like again, if that's the golden pocket or the value area high here on top, really doesn't matter. I just want the price to spend some time in one specific area. Why? Because that is when it starts to play with the mental state of traders. If we are pumping up and you are enjoying the ride, and you think, you know what, we might just have another pump to go. We are just having sideways action before we getting another leg up. So bulls are holding on to their positions. People who want to short try to build up already short positions might get wigged out 1 or 2 times, and then eventually some shorts already got wigged out. Some longs are still waiting, and then eventually you're going to see the rotation to the downside. That for me would be a swing short trade. Now, if we're coming up to the golden pocket and taking out all these highs, and we're going down right away, and I see this heavy rejection, just like we have seen here and here, where we right away go lower, I will short it. But I then need to know, and I really advise you to do the same, to like, hey, this most likely will not be the top, but let's just hedge our long position by taking a short wherever we are then going to top out. Now, what can you do if you're not in a trade yet? This one is a little bit difficult, because if we are taking a fib retracement from the low to the high, then the golden pocket is pretty deep, and then we're also leaving the value area low here again, and then we're finding acceptance below the range. That would actually be pretty bearish, but if that happens fast, it might work, like the 0.5 or the golden pocket 29,000, let's say 280-ish, or 29,466. To be honest, what I would prefer most, if you just zigzag here a little bit, then once maybe a dip, and then eventually go higher, then you can still long on that dip. But you do not want to see hourly or 4 hourly closes underneath the value area high, because then you're really finding acceptance underneath that area again. That will be pretty bearish. But for now, I think we still have some room to go. Something else that would look like a significant high would at least be a bearish divergence on the 1 hour. So let's say we are getting a quick move to the upside and the price does something like this, or at least the indicator does something like this, and then price does something like this. That would be a very nice bearish divergence. I want to see it at least on the 1 hour. 4 hour would be better, but I do not want to see this only on the 5 minute or the 10 minute. That will be not strong enough of a top sign or reversal sign for me to really enter a swing short. So I want to see, for a bigger trade, bigger, heavier confirmations, aka on bigger time frames. So that's most important. Now, what could move price eventually lower once we reach the high? The data from tomorrow, because tomorrow we are getting CPI, and that's inflation in the United States. Very interesting. It is the consensus that inflation is going slightly up. So we are now at 3%, and I think we're going to 3.3%. How is that possible? Is the policy of the Fed not working? No, that's not the case. It is because oil is going up already for quite the extensive amount of time. We're coming off $67 and we're now already all the way at 83. The general consensus is that we are most likely going towards $100. Now, in the calculation of the CPI data, so the inflation, there's all kinds of data in there, like food, energy, housing, used cars, all kinds of stuff, but also oil. And if oil, so this is a pretty heavy component in their calculation, is then rising, then eventually you can see that the inflation rate is also going higher. So therefore we might have a slightly higher inflation data tomorrow. If it is lower than the 3.3, then I think we're getting an extra pump to the upside, and actually then I'm just looking at the value area high, at least 78.6 at 31,150 for tomorrow. And if it is on point, then I think we're just getting a zigzag, like looks a little bit like a heartbeat. We have seen this already a million times. We go higher, we go lower, and eventually we just go sideways, or the other way around. We go lower, we go higher, and then eventually we go sideways. That is most likely what is going to happen. Big dump, big pump on data that comes in exactly the same as forecast. It usually never happens. If the inflation data is of course worse, then we're getting a massive dump. We are definitely going to lose the value area low. And if it is much better, like I said, then we're definitely going to pump. So be careful, because now we are a little bit in a move to the upside to start shorting this. But just keep your eye out that once we hit a level, don't right away short it with all your capital and think this is going to be my swing short, because we might have some more room and time to zigzag, to wiggle a little bit, to really settle down, to confirm that a level, again, no matter what it is, doesn't matter, golden pocket, value high, whatever, but that level really is the high or the lower high before we are reversing. And I can tell you from experience, back in the days, I made this mistake many times. That'll be it for now. Be careful. If you want to long, same advice as yesterday. Once you're in a profit, right away move your stop loss to entry or to profit. Make sure that you go home with cash. That's what you're here for. You're here to make money on a consistent base, day in, day out. So move that stop loss once you are in profit, to make sure that if you're getting a wick or a move to the downside, just like you have seen here at the end of the trading session, that you're not getting caught with your pants down if you suddenly were FOMOing in here, because now you're then already the entire day at the loss. So be careful. That'll be it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and please do me a favor by liking, subscribing, clicking the bell, clicking on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are also in the description. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.